Cause be fucking for real. Be fucking for real.
Yo, let me address the crowd. What the fuck?
Oh my fucking god.
Yo, that was wildin'. Like wildin'. It's the Bree and D show. Come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Bree and D show. I'm D, that's Bree.
Hello.
I need you to wake up.
How
Feel
we
the
doing
fire,
out
feel the
there?
energy.
I heard you say it was cold out there in Missouri, but how cold is it?
Right now it is like I had to put a hoodie on. It's 47.
Oh,
It's
fuck
47
that.
right now.
Hold on. Now let me check the weather out here. Let me check. It is
Which
a
it's not a
whopping
big deal.
71.
We had
71.
it was 80 one day earlier this week. But we have really bipolar weather. Like in the Midwest, we get everybody's like temperatures and shit.
Well, Texas
and
does
that's-
too. So, Yeah.
What is the cold? What is the coldest for winter for Texas?
Oh,
that
shit.
you've
We've been in the
experienced?
negatives before.
Really?
Yeah, when it be icing and snowing and shit, we've had like negative.
So-
Remember that
so how
year
you-
that it had like all the power
That
had
did.
went out and
It
shit?
hit us. It hit us, and then I remember you were like, "Yo, nigga, you didn't even fucking text me and see if I was okay." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know the shit hit y'all."
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, see that goes to show you how long me and Derek been rocking with each other. What was that, like 3 years ago? But
know
I
what?
was
No, that was
highly
actually-
pissed
no.
off at him for not
That
checking
was,
on me.
I want to say that was last winter. That wasn't
That
3
wasn't
years
last winter. That was a couple of years ago. Where the power
Was
had
it?
went out. Yeah, it was like 3 years ago on Valentine's Day.
Oh, was that that was before you left to go.
Yes.
That situation. taken care of.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're right.
Why you
you're
say
right.
the situation? Just say it. He meant before I left to go get my body done. Invested
Yeah, but
in my
because it's
body,
your
bitch.
bitch.
I'm done up. Ooh, so let me tell you. Y'all remember when I was telling y'all about the dude who I was like using and like I couldn't stand the way he looked? Tell me why this nigga hit me up again. And I told him, I was like, listen, you're going to have to come off an Apple Pencil, and I want to go to like a hibachi restaurant, and this and this and that and that. So then he going to finally tell me, he going to be like, it seems like you just using me. And I say, good thing you finally fucking realized it.
No, that nigga did not.
He did. And he was like, I think we click well and we have a lot of chemistry. And I was like, we don't. I was like, I don't find you funny. I don't find you attractive. I was like, I just think you're a fucking idiot. And he's like, well, I'm glad you finally told me that. And I was like, yes, so please stop bothering me. Don't message me ever again in your life. Get away from me. And I was like, because if you give me the other opportunities, I'm going to use you again. But I just had to let
Did
y'all
he
know
hit you
that.
back after that?
Huh?
Did he hit you back after that?
No, he messaged me back. He'll probably be back in a fucking few weeks. Because you know how fat losers are. So, I shouldn't say that. My bad. Sorry, y'all.
Hey man, tell the truth, shame the devil.
I'm so sorry, y'all. And that's awful to say because I like big niggas, but just like big, not big, dumb, unattractive niggas. You got to have something going for you, you know? But that was just a little open it up story.
I was afraid I was trending that way. I stepped on the scale in late February and I was 212, which is the heaviest I've ever been. And I'm only 5'7", so my frame really can't support that weight.
Yeah,
So-
it can. It's doing it right.
Well, yeah, but look, my eating habits were fucking terrible. My sleeping habits are fucking terrible. I was focused on so many other things that I had to stop, and like I don't want to be like I had to focus on my mental health because I know it's like a buzzword and shit like that. But we like we're Apple people, so I always took my watch off when I got home from work. And then somebody's like, no, you should track your sleep. So I found out how bad my fucking sleep was. And I might have said this on here before. I don't know. But yeah, I got back to running, and I tried to at least run at minimum 3 miles a day. I hit 100 miles for March, and I'm at like 77 miles. Actually, let me check. Shout out to Nike Run Club. Let's see where we are for the moment. 77.39 miles so far for April.
I could never. Well, I guess I did when I was like getting ready to go have my surgery. But now I want to get back into working out because I didn't put on some pounds. But
can I ask you something and not offend you?
Go ahead.
Your titties are big, so when you run, do they like hit you?
No, that's very stupid. Just so you know, that's very stupid. Because first of all, that's literally what the fuck a sports bra is to.
Look, there was a girl I dated, and she had really big ones, and she was like, "I can't run like you," and I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Because my fucking tits are too big." She lied to you. She said she had to wear 2 sports bras. I swear.
Okay, well, if you have to wear 2 sports bras, then you do, or you could just find a really good sports bra. I tend to invest in sports bras if I'm working out because I'm going to be wearing them quite often. There are great sports bras; they just cost a little bit of money, just like you would do with a regular bra. You have to put money into it. That's really stupid.
Okay. Let's break it down. On a regular bra that you would wear, what are you averagely spending? And then on a good sports bra, what are you averagely spending?
I've spent on a good sports bra, like a Nike or an Adidas one, about $60.
God damn.
I mean, sometimes you could go find them at Ross or something like that. And a regular bra, they can go up to $100-something, especially but that's not just for big titties. That's for anyone with titties. You need to invest in a good bra. It helps with your back support. It helps with your posture. It helps with your appearance. Like, no one wants to wear a fucking XOXO bra that fucking costs you $5 and your tits are like the underwires coming out. Like, prime example, I buy Skims bras. My everyday bra, I've had it for about 2 years now and never had any fucking issues with it. And you already know this. I mean, the thing is that it doesn't have to do with big titties. It has to do with titties in general. You need to have a good bra. Like, it is what it is. You need to have a good bra. And the thing is that girl saying, "I can't run like you," that was an excuse because she didn't want to run. Bitch, invest in a good bra and call it a day.
She was all titties. She was all titties.
You heard what I said? Invest in a good bra.
No. What I'm saying is she acted like her body was bad and it wasn't. She was just really top heavy. That's all. She didn't have no abs, but you know.
Was she white?
Why are we doing this?
I'm asking. No, you be asking me any and everything. Was she white?
She was mixed.
With what?
She was biracial. She was white and black.
Oh, okay. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Y'all see where I'm going with this? Just how Derek be going on his little pictures, I could do it too.
Wait, hold on.
Y'all see where I'm going with this, right?
You wildin'.
Anyways.
Nice segue. Yeah. So, I know you got some other feedback on the show, and do you care to discuss it? Is he gonna listen again and be like, "Why you keep talking?"
No, let's move on.
Okay.
Oh, but wait. Back to the story I was telling. I actually told that dude because at first he didn't believe me when I told him I was using him. I told him straight up, all jokes aside. You know what I told that nigga? I said, if you listen to episodes of my podcast, you'll know I can't stand you.
Oh my God! What did he say?
He didn't respond.
That was the kill shot.
But, wait. Actually, y'all want to know some other feedback, though? I do have some more feedback. So, funny story is one of my exes hit me up about the podcast. And I had told him to listen to them. Oh, Derek, is this the feedback you were talking about?
Yeah,
I had told him to listen to. One day we were arguing, and I told him to listen to the podcast. So remember y'all. I don't know if y'all remember the episode when I was like, I don't think a man has ever made me come. So he hits me, and it was so random. Like, we were having a fine conversation, I guess, and then he's like, "So ain't no man made you come before?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, why'd you, like, I was actually embarrassed, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. I was embarrassed when he said it. And y'all know what this nigga said straight up? He said, you're lying. Why are you lying? He was like, I watched you come before. And I was like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So wait, were you fake coming then?
I'm not gonna discuss it no more because I don't want him to bring it up to me no more.
No, you brought it to the community. You brought it to the community, so it has to be discussed.
Because the thing is that I guess so. I'm not gonna say his name. He know who he is. You know who you are, because apparently. And I asked him, I was like, "You listened to the whole podcast?" He was like, "Yep." So I guess I didn't think about it. Exactly. Thank you for the listen. I guess I didn't think about it, but okay. I don't know why I'm blushing. So, he's actually a great lay. He's great in the fucking sack. He has definitely gotten me there. I'm not even gonna sit there and do him like that. He's definitely gotten me there. He's great at a lot of things he does. If I had
He a eater is what you're saying.
Huh?
He a eater is what you saying.
Oh, okay. So Derek knows definitely what I'm saying, and he's fucking amazing at it, and he's good at the stroking part too. It's just the fact that me and him have so much turmoil between us, I guess you could say, that it's like it kind of stops me from stops him from getting that home run. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense, Derek?
Yeah, I guess if you're emotionally tuned in, it could definitely stop, progress in that area.
It's like it's real good, and then it gets to that point when and I like to be talked through my nut. I like to be talked to, and the thing is that it's just like shut up. It's just like when he's he's talking to me and it's sounding good, and then for some reason, like. It's just like you start
nigga, you lied to me 3 days
yeah,
ago.
exactly. You start to, and the thing is that, and I'm feeling it, and I'm falling for it, and then my mind goes, Brashawn, remember what he said last week, or some shit like that, and I'm like, fuck it, brain, and then it just kind of, or like the most recent time. Well, I guess you could say the most recent time. The last time we fucked, he was right there, like he was hitting it perfect, and then he nut, and I'm like, oh God, like I was a. But he does get me to that point, but it's like, my brain won't let me release it to him because of the turmoil and shit like that. Yo, you feel me?
So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, because he's listened before. He's definitely going to listen to this episode, and he's going to hear this, and you're definitely going to get a call or a text, and he's going to try to fix shit. Watch what I say.
I mean, here's the thing. That's something that happens. I mean, it is what it is, but I think we both know between us, it's, I don't know, it's weird. It's real fucking weird. It's, me and him have this discussion often about the way things are between us. But yeah, that's the problem. If you listen to this podcast, that's the problem. You are great at what you do. I definitely understand why you have the problems that you do in relationships, but the thing is that's why I haven't fully gotten there with you, is because but he made no bones about it. He definitely, hit me up and told me, Daisy, so I ain't make you come? I watched you come. His exact words were, I watched you cream on my dick, but that's not what happened.
I mean, if I was in his position, fuck yeah, I'd be like, no. There's no way you're going to get that one off. Like, I'd have been like, I need a retracted statement on your podcast in the next episode. I feel it.
Well, I just say he redeemed himself. I mean, I'm being honest with you. He's okay, so he's great. He's great in bed. And the thing is that I always tell this story. When we first met, he told me, he was like, that he was good in bed. And I was like, this nigga just talking shit. So that was one of the first times we met, which was years ago. And then we made it full circle, Another time we came back to each other and I just hit him. I was just trying to fuck. I swear to God, to y'all, I put this on my life. I don't want to give y'all too much information about him, but it's a a running joke. Like, people always say that felons got good dick, and he's a felon. And I told him when we started talking the last time we were talking, I said, well, I'm trying to know what that felon dick hitting like. And so, but he wanted something more, which I'm not going to say I didn't want it too. It happened. It didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to because of like I said, the things that stopped him from making me orgasm, other situations. So, it is what it is. But if it wouldn't have been if we wouldn't have that obstacle at the end, he would have definitely gotten me there. And yeah. But other than that, the sex is great it was great between us. So, yeah, but he did hit me up about it. I guess he didn't make him feel too happy. I think it kind of, hurt his little ego because, I'm guessing other bitches
There is a whole Seinfeld episode about Elaine telling Jerry that she faked an orgasm with him, and he like legit went and called like a bunch of different girls he had been with and be like, she had an orgasm, Elaine, I don't know, and then at the end of the episode she went to his house, like it was kind of fucking up their friendship, so she went to his place to get like some of her shit, and as she was leaving she's like, all right, I'll give you 5 minutes, and he's like, what? And she's like, come on, let's go. And he's like, what? And she's like, no, we gotta have sex to save the friendship. And he was like, sex to save the friendship? Well, all right. They went into the bedroom, and apparently it was so much pressure he couldn't do anything. And I think it was like mango or something like that they were eating earlier in the episode, and George's dick got hard, and Jerry it might not have been mango. It was something like that. And then Jerry remembered the mango was in the kitchen, and then like the credits came up and stuff like that. So we don't ever know what happened in that situation. But
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It was like, and I'm not, like I say, it's and that's what he was like, and it's like, I'm sure he did make those other girls come because he has the potential. But the thing is that what y'all have to realize is the way y'all treat y'all's partners, and the way y'all treat y'all's partners, and the way things end and shit like that, and what goes on between a relationship, it can definitely hinder an orgasm. It can, especially with women, because we're emotional. With men, they just, they want to just nut, fuck and bust a nut. With me, it's emotional.
Look, I've already told you on this. I don't know if I discussed it here or we just had a personal conversation. Like, told you, like, for the first 2 years of me having sex, I was just giving away free dick. I was not coming at all. At all.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's sex is for me, and I don't know if I've told you this, Derek, but everybody who knows me, I cannot have sex with somebody I don't have a connection with. Like, if I don't have a connection with you, I cannot have sex with you. I feel dirty. I feel disgusting. I can't even get wet. So like I said, it's just the fact that me and him has so much turmoil between our relationship that when he's right there at the home run point, my brain switches off and it's like, look at him, Rashawn, look at him. Remember what's about
to... you sent me the voicemail. Get off me.
And that's what it is. Like, all jokes aside, it's like I look at him and then like it's weird because you could see you know what I'm saying? You could see the situation, like it replays, for me, and then I'm just kind of like, my orgasm goes away and now he's just like pumping to pump because, like, but I mean, I wish it wasn't that way because I want to. I just can't. So yeah. But hey, you know what? I will say this, and I hope this doesn't upset anybody. I love you, dude. I mean, unfortunately, shit ended the way it did. But you're still around, I guess. So there's that, right?
I mean,
Anyways,
it is, right?
Moving right along.
What it was. Moving right along. We would be doing a huge disservice. And I would be completely remiss if we didn't jump right the fuck into Snowfall, right?
So I don't want to talk too much about Snowfall because reason being, I'm not completely. I haven't completely. What's the word I'm looking for? I haven't completely processed my feelings about the ending yet. I'm still feeling some type of way. I'm still coming up with new things. I'm still understanding some things. I'm still processing it. I may need to watch the last two episodes again even because it was a lot to unpack. It was an hour and a half long episode. And, things are still coming out on social media that are giving me a different point of view, right, Derek? Because I'll send you something that we didn't think about or we didn't catch. Like, remember when I asked you, I was like, hey, did Oso's fiance get caught? Because why would she go back to the United States? And after all this time, why would she call that line? I think Oso's fiance
I didn't
got
think
caught.
about that at all.
See, that's what I'm
I
saying.
didn't think about that at all. And Oso was just so overjoyed to hear that voicemail.
Exactly.
He probably called her back immediately, and then
Because why
but
would you go
that's
back to the
beautiful
United
writing.
States? And the thing is that originally, I don't think she was even from the United States. The little boys were from Mexico, remember? So I'm not under. And the thing is that you went back to a random state. What was it, New Hampshire? She said, or some shit like that.
I think she was in the Carolinas.
Okay, so yeah, and then it cut to the scene where they were looking for Louis, and you realize this was 5 years later, right?
I forgot. There was some time. There was like 6 months later after Sissy went to jail or something like that, and then they went to a year later. I can't remember exactly.
So yeah, so here's what the thing with that. It cut to them looking for Louis. So with that being said, that's why it also kind of like struck me as a little bit weird. It struck me as a little bit weird. But with that being said, I mean, I don't know. We won't know, unless the spinoff is real. I don't know if they'll touch on Oso in the spinoff, if there is
Well,
actually a spinoff.
The thing about the spinoff, the news of that came out with 3 episodes remaining or something like
Yeah.
that, and they said that Gail Bean, who was Wanda, was supposed to be the star of the spinoff. So I thought it was going to be her running the shelter. But then she's like, I'm going back to Ghana.
Well,
Like,
she
I can't
kept
do this
saying
anymore.
she didn't want to run the shelter. Remember when she gave her the shelter, she said she didn't know what to say. But in my opinion, she had already pretty much had it. Now, here's my thing with Wanda.
She didn't want to go home in the first place.
Yeah,
She didn't
here's
wanna
my
leave
thing
Ghana
with
in the
Wanda.
first
You
place.
want to know why I think she's running off to Ghana? Because she doesn't want to face the reality of what she did and how she did it. Like, remember when she went back and she went to go see her grandma and her grandma was like, get off of her porch? So that's the thing. Wanda is running from her past. That's what it is, honestly. And Leon was not trying to. So that was what, and it kind of bothers me about Wanda because the fact of the matter is that you were a drug addict for so long and you fucked up so much shit, and now you want to
be
just
honest
run away
with you,
from it.
In totality, I don't know how long it really was. I don't think she was like maybe a year.
I'm not sure either because they didn't give us too many timelines. They really
didn't give us a timeline.
What we can say is we know that, what we can say is we know it had to at least been 9 months because he met Veronique, she got pregnant, and when she disappeared, it was 2 weeks before she had the baby. Remember? So
Well, we know that. But wait, how far along Veronique? We found out she was pregnant.
she was only like
Last
8
season.
weeks when we found out she was pregnant. Because remember, she said it.
She got pregnant around Jerome and Louis' wedding. I want to say.
Yeah,
something
right.
Like that. Okay.
So the thing is that and then remember I asked you the question I asked you, I said, hey, did Franklin snitch on Louis because were they always watching her? And if they were always watching her, then explain to me why they were not watching him. Unless, when the DEA got involved, that's when he was no longer working with Franklin.
It stands to reason because Franklin made so much money and they need him, but at that point he had told Teddy he was out, and that's when Teddy.
That's what I was asking. Was it because Franklin was no longer working with him when the DEA started watching Teddy?
I don't know. I don't know, but I like the one point you brought up when you sent the screenshot of Teddy's ex-wife, and where she said, "I will humiliate you publicly." And then how that came back to Louis. I mean, not Louis' sissy. I was like, I'm not saying.
Was
I
that
definitely
what
don't think
happened?
she
But I
sent-
don't believe that's what happened. You know why? Because
I
why
don't
is
believe she
Sissy in
sent Sissy
prison?
to do that. Sissy wanted get back for Alton. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
which
100%.
low key kind of pissed me off because the fact of the matter was, I'm not. If you want my honest opinion, I get it. You're in love with somebody. That's who you had your family with. Yada yada whoop de woo. I don't understand how her and Alton fell back into their old routine that easy. Alton had been missing out of Franklin's life since he was like 10 years old because he was a drug addict and he was a drunk. So my thing is that, you know what I'm saying? He cleaned himself up and then you just opened him back. You just took him back with open arms. My question was, why the fuck did you care so much about Alton? Because you want to know something? If
It was her
Franklin,
husband. That's all I can say.
well, I get that. I get that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Alton was going to die either way, whether it be his addiction or the way he died with the CEA. And you cannot, I hope sincerely, but Sissy was really naive. I hope sincerely Sissy did not believe that Alton was going to do what he did and get away with it, right? No, come on now.
True. One thing I can say, Sissy, from the first time we saw her to the last time we see her, the makeup artists on this show did an amazing job. You can see
The pain and the stress and
yes.
when she came back from Cuba, her hair was braided and her skin looked clear. And then as it progressed and she saw what was going on between Louis and Jerome and Franklin and Veronique, you could see the stress and the pain and the confusion on her face. So
I thought it was really touching. When Leon and he was in that car with those people, and then in the next car was Scully's baby mama and his daughter, and then obviously she got killed. The first time I knew that Leon and Sissy had that real big connection is
where
when
she
they were
was
hiding
braiding
in
his
that
hair.
apartment, and she went to braid his hair.
But the thing is that
heartbreaking.
also that was their first connection, so that was a little bit weird to me too. I don't know how long the time frame was, but I'm gonna be real with you. That was weird to me because this was their first interaction. It seemed like to me. So
That we see. You have to remember though, crack changed everything, right? As a kid of the 80s, somebody played a song for me like 2 weeks ago. You ever heard the song Your Mama's on Crack Rock?
no, but I did say I didn't want to get too much into Snowfall because I haven't processed it all completely yet, and that's still some things that I haven't touched on yet because I'm
sorry.
confusing. I'm confused about that too because the fact of the matter is that you had a small, and then you also have to realize after she braided his hair, she left to Cuba, he left to Ghana. There was quite a bit of time where they didn't spend time together. So how did they have this bond all of a sudden?
Okay, this is what I'm gonna say. Franklin, Kevin, and Leon were best friends since they were little kids, right?
Yeah.
There it is. Like those kids are all around, and
I get that. I get
Wait,
that.
Hold on. It takes a village to raise a child, because in the old days, because my mother, my auntie, they've all told me this. If we were on the streets doing some stupid shit and our parents wasn't home, the neighbors might beat our ass, tell our parents, and then we get our ass beat again. Sissy watched those boys grow up.
But here's my thing about it. Like, this is the thing. What you have to realize is you have to take a lot of this stuff for face value. They did not seem like they had, Sissy did not seem like she had that relationship with Leon and the other boy. What was his name again?
Kevin.
Yeah, she didn't seem like she had that type of relationship with them. Reason being, throughout the series, you didn't see them at his house too much. They were always in the projects by Leon. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You did not see them at their house too much.
That's right. Leon did live in the projects.
Yeah, so, that's the thing. And it seemed like the projects, in my honest opinion, it seemed like it wasn't that close to, which it like I say, it just seemed like it was too close to their house.
I don't know LA enough to
but it did not seem like she had that type of relationship with them growing up, because the fact of the matter was we didn't, you know what I'm saying? We just didn't, it just didn't seem like it. We see that Kevin and Leon were close, but also you realize, I don't even think Franklin went to the same school as them, because you realize, again, let's take it a little bit further. Mel didn't really know Leon and Kevin like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she knew of them and she didn't know.
I forgot about that.
Huh?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she didn't even know Wanda that well. But you realize I think Wanda, Kevin, and Leon all lived in the project. Mel and Saint lived. They were neighbors. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, she didn't seem like she knew them that well to say that they all grew up in the same neighborhood. I think that they may have. And remember, they had a scene where Franklin Daddy Alton took him out of the school.
Him out of the school.
So I
I
think he may have known them from that school, and they just stayed in contact. I don't think it was but again, this is just me. That's why I said I didn't want to touch on it too much, is because I still have some kinks that I need to work out, and some things I need to figure out, and some things I need to see again to maybe draw a good synopsis on it. But it didn't seem like Sissy had a motherly role. And then I also feel as though if she would have had a motherly role with Leon from the get-go, maybe, because remember, Leon had just got out of juvie, remember?
At the beginning?
Yeah, at the beginning, he had just got out of juvie.
Huh, I would have to go back and see.
Yeah, see, that's why I was saying I
know.
didn't want to touch on it too much, because there's a lot of things that need to be, there's a lot of loose ends that need to be tied up.
I will say this. So John Singleton has been gone since, was it 19?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Reason being, I'm not. So I was into Snowfall, but I wasn't into John Singleton. I'm not one of those people. If y'all know John Singleton, I don't know John Singleton. So
Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice.
Well, yeah, of course I've seen those movies,
learning.
But that's just
right.
You know.
Well, no, just hear me out here. I think, and they didn't retcon it exactly, but if he was present in the writer's room, obviously he directed a lot in the beginning and he created the show. Once he's gone, then the writers have to figure out the story, because apparently this is supposed to be the story of Freeway Ricky Ross, and we know he went to jail. And we know he was so desperate for money.
What I'm going to say is on that, this is what I'm going to say on that, and it's you mention this a lot, and it's been well known on the internet now. We might as well say, honestly, at the end of the day, we might as well just take Freeway Ricky Ross out. Let's just say it was loosely based on him. He had some matching details, because the fact of the matter is that this story went way left and his life went right. You know what I'm saying?
It did. Because he went to prison. Now, when Franklin bought those houses for Leon and Kevin, that was supposed to be a direct nod to him. They called him free, and even Franklin getting into real estate, they called him Freeway Ricky Ross because he bought up a bunch of property along the freeway. So Franklin's real estate aspirations are supposed to be directly derived from there, and I think that's where it stops.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's the thing is that, and I'm almost sure, if you want my honest opinion, I'm pretty sure John Singleton and FX crossed their T's and dotted their I's to where the fact that he could not prove you know what I'm saying. So the 100%. Thing is that I honestly believe no offense to you, Freeway Ricky Ross, none at all. You know, hey, you did a great job. You phenomenal. Your life. This is what I'm about to say to you. You might as well let that go, because the fact of the matter is that they most shit. But yeah, I just feel as though they should just let that go, because the fact of the matter is that it was probably so loosely based on his life till it's not even funny. Like you said, it may have only actually just took away the property aspect of it, because the fact of the matter is at this point, you went to prison, Franklin became a wino. I mean, you know, it's just
my point of him and in the John Singleton thing is, when John died, the writers, he more than likely had the whole thing conceptualized in his mind and probably written down or on a hard drive somewhere. When he passed, the writing room had to figure it out on their own. Yeah. Because I'm 100% certain John Singleton probably knew how he was going to end this show. Right. He just didn't see his life.
Do you think he was going to end it in season 6?
I don't know, man. Television's a funny thing, because some shows will continue holding on as long as the audience is there.
That's what I think too. And that's what I love, is that Snowfall didn't end it because it was canceled. Snowfall decided to end it. But Snowfall also decided to end it to stop.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is ending on Amazon. This is the last season. 5 seasons.
Did you like it? Is it good?
I love it because it's like it's a different take on Mad Men is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And shout out to John Hamm, St. Louis legend. I wasn't here for the fucking 60s, 70s, 50s, none of that. So the only account we have is what they taught us in school, and you see how they're trying to get rid of all that because they don't want us to know about the fucking crimes and atrocities that they committed against people of color
Right.
and people of the LGBTQ community. So the only thing that I have is these television shows and their telling of what it meant to be alive during this time and what it meant to be a black person or a woman in an office setting or something like that. Whereas Maisel takes it from that same time period, but they put a comedic spin on it. And I think it's actually really dope and really well written.
Okay. Well, yeah, I like that it didn't, it ended before it got stupid too. So, because, some shit just.
I don't like when TV shows stay around so long that you have to get rid of them.
I
because the
did. I
ratings are
will say
slipping.
this. I would have liked one more season. Just one more. Just one more. Because.
I know, but what happens though? Because like if he doesn't, if season 5 ends the way it does with the whole Teddy situation, he literally spent the whole.
You're right. You're
entirety of
absolutely
this
right.
season
And
trying to get
the
this
reason
money
why
back.
I wanted one more season is because I'm selfish and I don't want to know that it's gone.
Yeah.
But it didn't need another season because they tied it up. What happened to Franklin? What happened to Jerome? What happened to Louis? What happened to
Leon,
Sissy?
yeah.
And what happened to Leon? Everybody got, Franklin became an alcoholic that he's not going to be able to recover from this. He's not. Veronique
Hey.
ran off.
The most poignant thing that I saw on the timeline through all of this, and I was trying to avoid it because you texted me. You were like, I was like, do not do that. I have not watched it yet. Don't you dare fucking do that. The most poignant thing that I saw was Franklin became everything
He hated. Yeah, exactly.
He became
It
Alton.
became full circle. He was Alton. So yeah, but they
Yes.
tied everybody's loose end up, and I do love that. Sissy's gonna spend the rest of her life in prison. She was charged with first degree
Prison.
murder. Franklin became an alcoholic. He's probably gonna drink himself to death. He's homeless now because they took the house. He said he was free. Leon, he, obviously, he said he wanted to start a place for, a lawyer, a law practice.
Leon is my favorite character.
A
Leon is my
lot of
favorite
character progression. A lot of character
That
progression.
is, oh my God, the growth in the arc. Like, remember one of the first things that happened was we saw him get shot. And we were like, damn, the crazy part is you would have thought at that point, damn, homie ain't gonna make it. And then at the end
Yes.
of season 1, Kevin is the one that's gone. I thought it was beautiful. You know what they say, don't cry because it's over, cry because you got to experience it. And also because of the fact that it's on streaming services so we can watch it whenever we want at this point. Like, you had to wait for shit to go to syndication back then. Like, now it's like, no, you press a button and you can find it whenever you want. And that's what I love. I do love that about the streaming era that we're in, but also as a content creator, I will say that it's bad for business. And that's a whole other thing. And if y'all want to hear about it, I talked about it on my Weekend Gaming podcast. You have to find that at Patreon. That's patreon.com/Derek Lamont Experience. The link is in the episode details. But I thought it was brilliant. Which death hurt worse for you?
To be honest with you,
Overall, for the
that's what I was
entire
about to say. To be honest with you, I think what that hurt worse was him killing the little white boy because I don't think he really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
hold on,
I
I'm
felt.
glad.
Wait, hold on. No, I felt bad
Go
that
ahead.
Jerome was killed, but it was needed because. And to be actually, I don't know. It was a shocker that Jerome was killed. I didn't feel bad that Jerome was killed.
It gave the story level.
Exactly. So also with that
I'm glad
being
you brought
said,
up the white kid.
they killed when he killed Black Diamond. That was despicable, and I actually wanted him dead at that moment. I wish she would have killed Buckley because I wanted him to die just because he didn't deserve anything. I would
Wait, Buckley?
Yeah.
Which one was Buckley?
the cop that they had
Oh,
the
okay.
cop they had working for them, the light skinned cop. But I
we
think
talk
that
about
was
this real
Leon's
quick, though?
first kill. I mean, not get Leon. I think that was Franklin's first kill.
Can we talk about the fact that, because you brought up the white guy, when he killed the white guy, what happened? There was one face they framed in on perfectly.
Was it
And that was
Peaches? Okay,
And
yeah.
then Peaches disappeared.
Yeah.
How about them bringing Peaches back?
Okay, so we wanted to know what happened to Peaches, but I didn't care. I didn't care. You know why I didn't care? Because I already knew what happened to Peaches. We already knew what happened to Peaches. What was shocking was that, actually, it wasn't shocking that Peaches was only 20 minutes away, because that's what you
That was
expect
fucking nuts.
from a crackhead. Peaches was a crackhead, and that's all it was to it. Peaches was a crackhead, and that's what I expected. What was shocking to me was that they didn't run into Peaches at like a grocery store or something like that, because wherever the
That's
crack
what I'm
house
saying.
was,
You're 20 minutes away.
exactly, wherever the crack house was, it's probably a well-known cracked out neighborhood, which I'm almost 1,000% sure they had corner boys over there. And somebody should have had seen Peaches, and it shouldn't have taken as long to find Peaches with him being so fucking close. So that kind of annoyed me, because he used his resources to find somebody who was right up the street. Now, I did not care what happened to Peaches, because they had already set it up that we knew what happened to Peaches. So I could have.
We knew that Peaches took off with
Exactly.
that money. We knew that.
We knew.
I never expected to see him
We
again.
knew that Peaches took off with that money, and we knew that Peaches was a drug addict. I did not. Now, what is crazy that he spent almost $5 million on drugs.
That is insane. My nigga, you smoked a lot of rock.
Which, actually, y'all want to know something? Here's the thing. We saying that that's a lot of money, but when you realize when you are a drug addict and you have friends that are drug, you have your hanger-oners.
You have no sense.
Like,
you have no sense of actually what's going on around
absolutely.
you
And when people know you, when drug addicts know you have that type of money, they're going to gouge you. And then B, you will do any and everything to get that high. So the thing is that, I don't know if y'all ever heard this, but I don't know if y'all remember, what's his face? The one that wore the clock, Flavor Flav. He was spending like $200,000 a day on drugs, and that's the sad reality. Especially when you have that type of money and you have people who are around you who do drugs. You know what I'm saying? You surround yourself. You live in a crack house. You're supplying for all of your crackhead homies. So you realize at this point, he could have been very well much so spending $200,000 a day on crack, which is why drug dealers are able to profit so much. Because the fact of the matter is, I bought $40 worth of rock. I didn't smoke that $40 worth of rock in 15 minutes. So now I need another 40. Then I'm like, well, this gonna only last me. And y'all, we think that crackheads don't think rationally. They fucking do when it comes to crack. I mean, he gonna think, fuck, I just smoked $40 worth of rock in 20 minutes. I'm gonna buy $80 worth of rock this time, and that's gonna last me almost an hour. You know what I'm saying?
I just didn't see them bringing him back.
I didn't think he needed to be brought back.
And I was like, at first I was like, what if they brought Mel back? But there's no point because Veronique.
They did bring Mel back, and she did what she needed to do. They brought her back, and she did what she needed to do, and they got rid of her. I think the writers.
When did they bring her back?
Remember, they went to her house. They went to her aunt's house.
I was talking about for this season.
No, Mel didn't. No. I'm talking about the whole show in general. Mel didn't need to be brought. Like, that's what y'all have to realize. They had to wrap this show up. They have to wrap the whole show up, everybody's timeline up in 10 episodes. So the thing is that what they did, that's what I was about to say. The writers and everything, they did kiss the fucking chef. They did a great fucking job because
I tell you what, if Mel hadn't shot him earlier, then her coming back at the end and then shooting him because he killed her father, I think that would have made a lot of sense.
Right, but here's the thing. They didn't want Mel to come back. You know why? Because they had already elevated Franklin. Franklin was elevated.
Yeah, true.
Franklin had moved on. Franklin was not the little boy who shot her father anymore. Franklin was a businessman who was marrying
Shout
a
out
lawyer.
To Marcus, by the way.
You know what I'm saying?
Marcus Henderson played the role of Andre, the police officer.
Yeah, and I think he told y'all he went to school with them. So great acting job. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I feel as though they did everything perfectly. Mel didn't need to come back this season because, like I said, Franklin had elevated, and we were watching the decline of Franklin on this season, which did not need Melanie there because Melanie had also overcame her drug addiction. She found God, and she didn't need to be back at that. She didn't need to be back at that point anymore. Wanda, they brought her back into her element where she lost herself. It is what it is.
Gail. I don't know where you are if you hear this,
P Valley.
my dear. You are. Oh, that's right. You are an absolute vision.
She's
She
great.
is
She's fucking great. Yeah,
gorgeous.
she's
She is
beautiful. I
gorgeous.
love all the features about her. I've always loved Wanda. She was super cute. I think her
Yeah.
and
I
Leon
was
were a
so
beautiful
mad when they made
couple.
her a crackhead. I was like,
Well,
why did
no,
y'all do
because here's the
this?
thing. That's
I
what
get
needed
it.
to
I
be
get it.
done.
Nobody knew what that shit was gonna do when it came in. Nobody knew it. I look. My mother is one of 11, and you know the crazy thing is, only one of them graduated high school, and it was my auntie, and she got killed by the dope man a couple years ago.
Oh,
She
wow.
only went to school to smoke crack. She's the only one that graduated.
Oh,
Nobody knew
wow.
what that
Your
shit was
mom
gonna
didn't
do.
graduate high school?
No, she was chasing my dad around. She was chasing, and I know. Truth be told, I literally just found that out a couple weeks ago, the weekend of my aunt's funeral. My aunt was like, "Yeah, well, she was chasing your dad around. That's why she didn't finish school." I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, that's why she was so hard on you and Antonio." And he went one way, and she was like, "Clearly, you went down the path it was destined for you." But she was like, "Your brother felt that pressure, and your mother was chasing your dad around, and she was just like, fuck it." She didn't. My mom dropped out her senior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
she
she
still
made a
made a name
success
for
of herself.
herself, and she
Yeah,
is where she is today, and that's great. And we're proud of her, and it is. I mean, hey, sometimes it be
she's in
like that.
Florida spending my inheritance, but it is what it is.
Wait,
What you gonna
what?
do?
Oh,
She's
she's
in
in
Florida
Florida. Man,
spending my fucking inheritance.
let her living her life like she golden. Let her be. Let her be.
All right, Jill Scott. Um, no, I think the show was fucking phenomenal.
I
I
do
think
too.
that,
I do
and
too.
you can see the outpouring. Like even old cast members. Mel posted something on Instagram. Malcolm Mays, who played Kevin, posted something. Everybody, I can't literally say that there was one bad actor or actress on that set because everybody was so timely with what you were
Yes,
getting. And
everybody. And so also, they were kind of going the way of the Bloods and Crips thing. What I also think is with the spinoff, if there's a spinoff, I don't want to keep saying the spinoff because we don't know for sure if it's happening.
we don't know if it's
They're
true.
gonna come back. Leon and
I don't know
Wanda are
what you
gonna,
do.
huh?
I guess you could. That would. I guess that would make sense.
What?
I will tell you. I love how Sissy told him pack a bag and go to Ghana and get your wife.
But
And
here's
like
my thing. She had what pissed me off about Sissy is like I said, why did she keep taking the visits? She did not have to. You're not forced to take the visits. You are
you're
not
not.
forced.
You 100%.
If you
You
were gonna
100% are
sit
not,
there
and I
and
know
just
that.
give him the evil look and sit on the phone and then hang up when he got upset, because here's the thing. One thing everyone hates is being ignored, right or wrong.
True. Here's the thing. We as parents have not had to experience this because our kids haven't gone through some crazy shit yet. If we ever got to the point where we felt like we lost them and we couldn't get through to them anymore, I could totally see that. My mom and my brother
But
did not
why
speak. Hold
take
on.
the
Wait.
visits?
I know what you're saying. My mom and my brother did not speak for a while because he always felt like she was mercilessly beating him over the fucking head like, get your life together, get your life together. She felt like she was going to lose
So
him.
can I ask you a
Now,
question?
go ahead.
When your mom and your brother didn't speak, did he like go to the house and sit in her face and just not did she, or you know what I'm saying?
He was in prison already.
So
They weren't
that's
speaking
my
up
thing.
there.
So
He
did
wasn't
your
calling her.
and see that's my point is that I get that. I understand that completely. But here's my thing. You sat there and you looked at him with this face of disappointment when he is a product of what he watched Alton, you know what I'm saying? We clearly saw that he became Alton. So here's my thing
Right.
is that this is a product you were all with Franklin at the beginning. Because remember, she said, if we going to do this, we going to burn it down.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Sissy's
that's
just as
what,
guilty as everybody else was. She wanted to be. She didn't want to be. But she's just as guilty as everybody else was. Alton was just as guilty. Jerome and Louis were clearly very fucking guilty. Leon was guilty. The thing of it
right. That's
is,
what bothers me. That's what people don't understand is that's what bothers me is the fact of the matter is that Everybody in this fucking situation was guilty. Everyone. You reach out to Jerome. You reach out to Louis. You wanted to fix things with fucking you built this bond with Leon. But your flesh and blood, that's who you gave the cold shoulder to, but you still took the visits. You could have made the same point by not taking the visits. All she did by take the visits was throw it in Franklin's face that she was pissed off and disappointed with him. And that's why Franklin acted the way he did when he was screaming and cursing her out.
$73 million fucking dollars, or 37 at that point, is what he was supposed to get.
I don't think he would have gotten anything from I don't think he was going to get anything from that. But here's my thing.
You're not alone.
She was not the person. She shouldn't have took that from him. What if this was the one time that he was telling, and then a part of me does believe that he was going to actually get it. You know why I believe that? A part of me believes it and a part of me doesn't. Reason being, you see how that CIA agent just walked off after she shot him? Mm-hmm. He could have arrested Franklin right then and there because he knew what the fuck Franklin did. Remember when he dropped off the KGB agent and he told him to just drop him off and leave?
Yeah.
They could have arrested Franklin right then and there because he knew what Franklin did and what Franklin was doing, but he didn't. So the thing is that kind of leads me to believe that maybe he was, or you know what, he could have, the code word that he was using, it could have been transferred into that woman account that he was engaged to. But however, it wasn't Sissy's place to take that from him. And the thing is that what people don't understand is that if anybody gave you $73 million and it took it right back from you without your knowledge, you would have did the same thing. I would have went over hell and high fucking water. Then here's the thing. He lost $73 million. Then he lost $5 million from Peaches. Then he lost $800,000 from Veronique. Then he lost, you know what I'm saying? Then he lost, you know, he constantly kept taking L's. Then he asked Sissy, so here's what pissed me off. Sissy wanted her son to have nothing. Because the fact of the matter is, Sissy could have signed over for him to sell a house. She wouldn't. So that boy didn't even have nothing to live off of. They took the house for back taxes. So you rather the state take the fucking house for back taxes than to sign it over to him and let him sell it and do whatever the fuck. And because guess what? Franklin, I don't know if she thought Franklin was going to go get a job after this, but if we being honest, Franklin didn't have any skills.
You can't go back. He had no skills. He had beat the dude's ass in school, so he had to leave college. And number two, you can't make millions and millions upon dollars and then have to go back.
Exactly, a 9 to 5. It won't work because the thing is that you know what it feels like to be a dope boy. You know what it feels like to be a millionaire. And the fact of the matter is that now I'm settling for $13 an hour, if that, maybe less than that. Franklin probably would have had to go back to working at the goddamn liquor store.
80s. This was the 80s. Like $7 or $8 was big money back then. There's no way he was getting $13 an hour. I think for sure. I think there are definitely moments where you can see the disconnect starting between them. I think the first one is before Sissy and Alton left for Cuba. And I forgot what Franklin and Alton got into it over. I think Alton told him to leave the game alone, and he was like, fuck you, whatever he said.
But here's my thing. What pisses me off about that is that the shelter was funded off of Alton's money. Remember when he went and shook them old black people down for like the library or something?
Yeah.
Sissy was all for it. Remember when they went to the man who came at the man who Veronique reached out to sell the company to? Remember him and Sissy went had the meeting with them and he said he didn't like the way they got their money?
Yeah.
Remember the man that Sissy was working for and that he wanted to buy the building and Sissy was all game for it. But when it was like, oh, wait a minute, now you're going, you know what I'm saying? You was all for that, but now all of a sudden it's too much. Either you in or you out. You can't be halfway in and halfway out.
She's just as guilty. That's why I say that.
So why did she get to take the high road and ignore Franklin? That's what I didn't understand. Now you see where I'm going with this. Now you see what my points are. I'm trying to look at it from every point of view. Like I get it. You were disappointed in your son, so you wanted to fix things. You know what I'm saying. You're disappointed in the way that he went about his life. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you have to realize you brought an alcoholic back into his life.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very mothers and their children, fathers and their daughters, mothers and their sons. Um, it's always a very, very complicated relationship. Um,
But then you, like I say, but you accepted Leon for everything he did. Leon's hands were just as dirty. It's just the fact that Leon didn't make as much as Franklin did.
He was basically Franklin's
Hitman.
fucking bulldog. He was his bulldog.
Exactly. He tried, nigga. He was driving Frank. Old dude, Leon had did most of the killings. Only thing was that Leon felt bad because he killed old girl, that little girl. But here's my thing.
Scully's daughter. And I love that him and Scully had that moment.
Here's my thing about that. When you asked about what death like kind of hurt me the most, some people may not agree with me on this. You probably won't agree with me on this. Scully's daughter dying didn't matter to me. Honestly, I didn't care. Reason being, that was on Scully and his baby mama. Because the fact of the matter is that you know that your baby daddy is deep into the fucking drug game. You know there's a fucking war. Exactly. You know there was a war going on. You knew you were in another drug dealer's territory. It's as if she wanted her child to be killed. And I'm shocked that she wasn't killed at that point. So the thing is that it's all fair in love and war, baby. This is what happens. That's a casualty. You know damn well. And here's the thing. You know and I know, just like with Franklin, he was not stupid about it. I know what's important to me, so I need to protect what's important to me. I need to take Veronique and my baby and put them up somewhere. Why didn't Scully have his baby mama and his... Why? No, I'm going to tell you why Scully baby mama and his daughter wasn't up somewhere living lavish. Because she wanted to be up in them streets.
They wanted to be in the projects. The thing I've never understood about people that stay in... Like, I was rolling through the west side, and the west side of St. Louis is like... It goes down. And I saw a Rolls Royce Phantom. Now, somebody said it was Nellie's, and I was like, it could be. You never fucking know. Floyd's pops lives here too, and my old boss sold him a warranty for his Cadillac, by the way. It could have been Nellie. It could have been somebody. Fact of the matter is, if somebody lived on that block and drove a Phantom, you're absolutely balling backwards. The point of getting the money is to get the fuck out of the area. That's the point. I don't know how Scully controlled that area. I can't remember exactly. Drew Manboy had Compton, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because that's when Franklin yelled at Leon, and he was like, "I built this shit brick by brick, and I'll be damned if I, fuck it up."
Y'all beef over some bitch.
Another nigga talk.
Because remember they were arguing over Wanda.
It was over Wanda. So I forget. Scully controlled those projects. Scully had a bunch of shit in that fucking bum ass apartment he didn't need. But he had the money to get.
Here's the thing. That should have been just what it was. That shouldn't have even been his stash house because everybody knew where the fuck it was at. Just like. You see, once Louis and Jerome had their money, they were in a living in a fucking palace. And the thing is that was the first fucking thing Franklin did was got the fuck up out the hood. That's the type of shit that pissed me. Like, the thing is that it was always set up for Scully baby mama and his daughter to die. Because the fact of the matter is, it is what it is. That's when it boils down to it, all fair and love and war. You know what it is when you doing drugs. Nobody is fucking safe. There's
only two ways out.
Death or jail. Nobody, and your family is not fucking safe. Your family is not. Actually, your family are the first ones. They go for your family before they go for you because it's easier for me to catch your daughter because she coming out of school. Exactly. BMF, remember, I was just about to say BMF. They shot old girl. Exactly.
They shot Nicole's friend. He went after Cash Doll, fucking paid in full, which is a true
and he
story.
killed his nephew. Oh, didn't he kill his nephew, huh? And in real life, not just in the movie, he killed his nephew.
No, that's real. That's 100% real. They left his, like,
And that wasn't
Finger
nobody else's
envelope, it was like
nephew.
at a
That was his
McDonald's.
own nephew he kidnapped and killed. That was
Yeah.
his own nephew he sent their ear in the fucking mail. Because he was jealous. Your family is the first one that go. They will go after your family before they go after you. Because it's harder to get to you than it is to get to your family. Because like we said, your little girl walking home from school. Your baby mama
It's
in
like
Target.
in Spider-Man. In Spider-Man, I think the first one, or maybe it was the second one, the first one, because MJ found out the one where Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man. He wanted her, and then she started to feel it, and he was like, I can't. And she was like, why? He was like, because if anybody finds out I'm Spider-Man and they can't get to me, they're going to come at the people I love to get to me, which is you and Aunt May. We can't do this. Now, eventually, that all changed, but that was his reason. If I can't get to you, I'm gonna get to somebody close to you, and then you're gonna have to come see me. Period. And I don't mean to cut this, but we've been at this for like exactly an hour now. Other than Snowfall, I don't know anything else that I've been watching or anything like that. But
Everything else
mainly,
is kind of ending. So, I mean, we honestly, we had to discuss Snowfall. So Snowfall definitely got its own episode because it was such a beautiful show. I mean, and I said this,
yeah,
you
absolutely.
may not agree with me, but I said this to my friend. I said, Snowfall is, if you ask my honest opinion, it was definitely one of the best shows. Like one of the
Oh
best
no, for
shows on
sure, for
TV,
sure.
period.
Y'all had you, Sterl, Juan, y'all were like, why are you not watching Snowfall? And I'm like, I started it, and I love Franklin and his crew. Every time they switched to Teddy in the beginning before he became Franklin's Connect, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about this Teddy character. And it's
And I
ruining
told
the
you, you just
continuity
had to,
for
you
me.
just had to
You
wait.
told me, and when I did, it paid off.
Yeah.
It definitely paid off.
And the one thing
Real
I do
quick.
need to, I want to address on this is that if anybody out there, so I do have a Facebook friend who just started Snowfall, and she asked me, she's like, "Is it worth it?" And I was like, "Yes, it is." I was like, "There's some moments that's kind of cringy, or some that'll make you like turn it off and maybe not go back. Just power through it. It's definitely worth it."
Even the Oso wrestling shit, I was like,
You
what
just
the
power
fuck? I'm a
through it
wrestling
because
fan.
everything
You
has
have
a
to.
leading point. Everything is there for a reason. And it's not like no other shows where they never came back to it or anything like that. You see how everything came full circle.
Yeah.
Also went back to wrestling. It was his first love. He went back to it. Everything came full circle. And the thing is that I have somebody who I know is about to start the show, and I already know what's gonna happen. She not gonna be into it because she's closed minded, and that's really
You better
shitty with
tell her not to
people.
listen to this
Well, the thing is
episode.
that I didn't say anything. All I told her, I said it's really sucky that you're just now starting it because there's spoilers everywhere all down the timeline. But the thing is
Yeah.
that she's one of those people. She's really closed minded, and I don't typically like dealing with closed minded people because the fact of the matter is that you can't have open ended conversations like this.
Conversations with them, yeah.
So it's really shitty. And when they're closed minded in one field, they tend to be closed minded in everything. So that's just like food and everything like that. So, but
Let
yeah,
me ask you this.
yeah.
Before we wrap this up, give me your favorite non-main character and then your favorite main character.
My favorite non-main character would be Teddy's wife.
Ooh, okay, that's an interesting one.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah, please do.
I
Please
think
indulge.
Teddy's wife was just a phenomenal mother. She would have been a phenomenal partner. She knew that this had gone too far and she wanted nothing to do with it. She tried to work it out with Teddy for her family, and she realized he was detrimental to his family, and she told him straight up, just give him the money back and let him go. Give him the money back and let him go. Because do you realize how many lives would have been spared if she, and I think she
Fair.
realized
if
that.
if he had given her that, if he had given that money back, it changes. If Teddy never steals the money, I don't know how you end it. But if he gives it back, where does the show go?
It could have
Think
had a
if-
happy
if
ending,
he-
and which would have been fine too,
if
I
he-
think. But that was, somebody asked on Twitter. They say, what ending will make you go, oh my God? And I said that would have been the ending. Franklin actually getting the money and having a good ending. That would have made me be like, oh my God, that's not what I expected, which would have been fine with me. But it didn't happen that way. But that's why. And the thing is that also, y'all have to realize Teddy's ex-wife also works for the government too. And she was
Sure
all
did.
on the
Sure
side
did.
of giving him the money back and letting the situation sweep it under the rug. So you have to realize if another government official said that, then it must have been in within reason. So that's why she was my favorite non main character. My favorite main character. That's a really hard question. That's crazy. That's a hard question. I would say my favorite character, my favorite main character was Oso. It was Oso. It had to have been Oso. Oso
I'm
was
surprised. I actually thought we would be on the same page because of something I said. But go ahead.
well. Reason being, Oso was deep in it from the trenches. Oso was that nigga from the beginning. Oso was. Y'all realize? Do y'all remember Oso? His character progression was beautiful too. Remember, Oso was drinking
Yeah,
himself to death because that girl who left. Remember?
that's right. That's right.
And he
That's right.
pulled himself
Okay.
out of that. Y'all realize also actually one of his best friends were murdered in front of him. They killed his dad, them children, entire family. He took them children in and him and his girlfriend was raising him as their own. Also was building himself a life and a family. Also stood by when also realized that Teddy was doing him dirty. Y'all realize also had everybody, his back was in the corner. His back was in a fucking corner. Also picked a side and it was the side that worked out for him. Y'all also realize that Franklin was the only person who gave Oso what he asked for up front without getting anything in return yet. The KGB was like, we'll help you after we get, Teddy. The DEA will help you after we get Teddy. Teddy, I'll help you after we, you know what I'm saying, after we get Franklin. Franklin gave him what he asked for up fucking front. No questions asked. You did not ever have to question Oso's loyalty. Oso was so loyal that he was literally willing to let his family go and stay there and get taken down. Remember the DEA caught him and he still did
Yeah.
what he needed to do. So Oso's character progression was beautiful. He went from a po-ass wrestling man. And then remember when Franklin went to like South Central LA, was that where the Hispanics lived at? And Oso was like, I'll help him, I got him, he with me.
Yeah.
He was on point from the beginning. He was a great character. I loved it. I loved that he found his happiness in his family. He got to go back to doing wrestling and he walked away with some pocket change. So he would never ever be poor again. So yeah.
Okay. So, my favorite supporting character is definitely Man Boy. I thought Drew was fucking hilarious. I
I
thought he was fucking hilarious. Um,
okay.
for the time where he was on the show and he was present, I thought he brought amazing conflict. Um, I like that he initially was the connection for Scully. Um, I thought Drew was amazing.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
I thought he was absolutely amazing, and um, I don't know what else he's gonna do, but I think that kid is a phenomenal actor. I'll say that. Now, as far as my favorite main character, it is a toss-up, and it's Jerome is one, and Leon is the other. Leon for these reasons. Actually, it's for both. The reason actually is for both of them. The growth and them realizing that it wasn't worth it. Leon saw what it did to the community. Like he saw it tear the community down. Jerome saw it, but it was too late at that point. When
Absolutely.
Jerome told Louis, when he told her, you know, I'm done, Lou. I'm not doing this anymore. He was like, I'm out of here. And she, and even like he was like, is it worth it? And she was like, for my self-respect, yes. Um, Jerome's death, I don't know if I saw any more like the community loves Snowfall, especially Black Twitter. Let's be 100% real. But the outpouring for Jerome's death, you would have thought that was really all of our uncle that got killed. Like we all felt that one. From the first time we see him when he's lifting weights and shit like that to when they went to the white dude's house and they was filming a porn, and he was like, "Where the bitches at?" To the iconic, "Get that trigger finger next time, nigga. Teach a man how to squabble." Jerome had nothing but quotables throughout the whole fucking show. He was phenomenal. Amin Joseph, yo, you did that, my brother. And again, too, I think it's Isaiah is his name, Leon's character.
Yes.
My brother, what you did for those 6 seasons, you took us on an emotional roller coaster, and you sat at the right hand of the leading man. You sat at the right hand of the leading man, but you led that show just as well as Damson Idris did. What you did for that show is absolutely remarkable. You brought heart to it. Leon crying when Sissy braided his hair, heartfelt moment.
Yes.
Leon crying when he went to see Sissy in jail. Leon telling Franklin, when Franklin got locked up, go in there and knock a nigga out. Watching when we had to watch Leon like get out of the hospital after he got shot in the beginning and stuff like that.
Do y'all remember? Y'all may not remember when he got shot and who actually was the one that was there to protect him. It was Wanda.
Was it?
Yeah, Wanda? It was Wanda. Remember, she was out there and she was like, "Leon," you know. So
I remember him being in the backyard and Franklin seeing him through the window and then going back.
No. Remember? Well, I mean, he may not have gotten shot, but he got shot at when he was at like the food truck or something, at like a taco stand or something like that.
Probably.
So,
but I remember when he got shot, Franklin saw him through like the kitchen window and went back there.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
But yeah, back to what you were saying, it's phenomenal.
It was again, don't cry because it's over. Cry because we got to experience it.
Yes, great fucking ride. All the emotions. Ride, I really love that we had we had different opinions on who our favorite characters were, because it brought something new to, the show. I'm pretty sure I said some things about Teddy's wife and also that you had not picked up on. And you said some things about, but also I felt as though, that's everybody thought about Jerome and Leon and Franklin, them being their favorite characters. But, and like I did say, I've watched Snowfall probably a good 6 times, because every time a new season came out, I would watch it from start to finish again. So, but
you got anything else?
I don't. So you guys, I have something special to tell y'all. Derek he just told me we have the green light on this. So this episode we wanted to dedicate to Snowfall and all the actors and the beautiful ending. Oh, we didn't even talk about the ending where they actually
the boys in the hood situation.
Yes.
So the crazy thing about this is I noticed the kid in the striped shirt and I was like, oh shit, that's Lil Dope.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then did you see the tweet where somebody was like, what if Franklin was the dead body they were looking at?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow.
Right. I put that in the group chat with my cousins and they was like, oh shit. And we was like, dog, that would have been a fucking moment.
That's wild.
It took me back. So after this, I watched Straight Outta Compton, and then all this morning I was listening to NWA because it puts you right in that time.
It does.
And I thought it was beautiful that they gave
beautiful
John
tribute.
Singleton. Yeah, absolutely. Man, it was amazing.
It was great. It was a great ending. That's another thing I want to say. I thought the ending was perfect. People hated the ending, but I thought it was perfect. It didn't.
No, I thought it was beautiful.
Reason being, it tied up all the loose ends, and Franklin.
A lot of people were like, "There's no way Franklin would go out like that." But the minute you saw Franklin with that bottle of Jack Daniels with him in the car.
Here's the thing. Like, that's how it happens for a lot of drug dealers. If they don't go to jail, that's how they end up. But, so like I was saying, Derek gave me the green light that we could dedicate this episode to Snowfall completely. But that's not all. You're going to get 2 episodes this week. Next episode is going to be, about our normal shit. What's going on in celebrity news, blah, blah, blah. Music, yada, yada. And next week we're going to have, on the next episode, not next week, the next episode, we're going to have our top 10. Remember we were doing our top 10? So,
what was our top 10 list?
Our top 10 rappers of all time list.
Oh, that's right.
So,
We gon' you know what? Because Jim Jones won't shut up. So.
oh yeah, and we're gonna talk about that in the next episode. So you guys don't forget to tune in to us this week, next week, every week after that. Every episode we give you, I promise you I'm gonna post it on everything to remind you, because I do not know how to shut up. But if Derek, there's nothing left to say. Thank you guys for tuning in with us, being patient with us.
Thank you guys.
We love y'all. Y'all know how I feel out there in podcast land. I love you guys. Hey, my ex, I hope you listen to this episode. I did somewhat let you redeem yourself. I put it out there for you. But again, I love you guys, and that's all.
Peace, y'all.